Well, we're heading down the road. I don't like your little stand here. It's too rattly. Rattly stand. It's Sunday, and it is a beautiful, so 42 degrees. That's what, +5? Going up a little bit. It's going to be beautiful next Monday, Tuesday. Too bad you can't come to the Meadows on Tuesday. That'd be a lot of fun. But
I would if someone would take the kids. No, I can't because all these guys.
I'm going to be home. I'll be home like 2 o'clock.
Oh.
3 o'clock, 2:30.
Before the kids get out.
That's the problem. The qualifiers start at 11.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
It would be... Yeah, no, it'd be 2 hours. We just have to be gone by 12. Well, put it this way. You can check the entries out when they come out.
Yeah, but the horses can't just go on the trailer when they get off.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you can work at the time, we have to be gone by... Yeah, no, it's going to be too tight. Too tight. I did all the videos. They're all done. It's a beautiful day. I have no stress, nothing to do. Just got a race tonight. Amy's stressing out. We're going to get Cruz out of the Dilton. The dog Hilton.
Don't laugh at your own joke.
Why?
It's not funny.
Yes, it is funny. Amy hates dropping the dog off there. She wants to lug the poor bugger everywhere. And I said, we're going back to Ontario for a day. We're going to be rushed everywhere. Just let the dog alone for the weekend. So we're going to pick up Cruiser right now. And we don't really have a whole lot planned for today. At all. Except for... No. Apparently we're going to clean the car up because, once again, Amy can't put the top on her water bottle. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know anybody...
Okay.
Do you know somebody who does that? Like, they'll put a top on, but they'll just, like, give it one turn. Just one turn. Like, oh, well, that's good enough. I mean, they would have made the bottles like that had they wanted you to just give them one turn. Turn to the bottom. I mean, I don't mean, like, crank it right down, but just tight. Tight. And this has been ongoing forever. I need to delve into your childhood and figure out exactly where you went wrong. What happened? Did a jam? Could you not get the top off the jam one day and you just decided to tell yourself, you know what? Look, I want to check that. Look, do you see what you just did? Look, it goes an entire other turn. An entire other turn. That keeps the liquid in the structure. She just did it again. Like, did you try and get jam out when you were a kid and you couldn't get out, and at that point you just decided, you say to yourself, you know what, I will never tighten the lid completely tight ever again. Oh my goodness. Anyway, maybe you know someone like that. Just give it one turn. One. It's not like you need a wrench, like vice grips, to tighten it down. Oh, no, now it's tight. You got to carry them around in your pocket like a farmer. Anyway, it's an hour ahead today, right? So it doesn't feel like 10:30. Had a good night last night. The only thing that ruined our week was they claimed Irresistible Son off us, and I was sad to see him go. I can tell you, Lauren, there's going to be some waterworks. Lauren loved that horse. Everybody loved Sonny. But, in hindsight, looking at and I'd said this to Amy today, I was a little taken aback that they claimed him because that was his last start in that class. Now you can say he can go to Miami Valley and Scioto and bang out money, and he will. He will bang out money. But it's not going to be a walkover. I mean, as I said, we have memory and imagination for that class also. And I would say, given the horses racing last night, Sunny, and the week before, memory and imagination, I think the better of the 2 miles obviously was Sunny. But when you look at the total body of work of the two horses, I think when memory and imagination puts it together, and he will, I think he's maybe just edges out Sonny just a little bit as far as who's a better horse. And I said to Amy also, 2 very important points. Drebin would kill both of them right now. And we didn't even get $55,000 for Drebin back when he was racing good at Mohawk. Remember, we bought the horse back? That was $55,000. Now, with Sonny last night, we got, with the purse, $43,000. And you really have to factor that in because that was the purse of the race that we got to win with him, right? So we got $43,000 last night. I would say the low end of fair market, but then, as I said, he can't race at Northfield right now. They can try and race him in the numbers at 8 or 8,500 or wherever it was. We raced in there. He's mildly competitive, but 3-point blue chip is going to drop in there, and 3-point blue chip would eviscerate Sonny also. He's just a better horse, right? He's been racing against these aged horses for an entire year almost, and has always been a better horse. And he's probably a 45-50 claimer also. So I was a little taken aback, and it did kind of spoil the end of the week. But man, we've been on a tremendous run, and this is, you know, as I said to you, you asked me what are we going to make the video about. It's a beautiful day, driving to pick up the dog, talking about the horses. What did you have fun with this week? Did you enjoy going back to Ontario? I know you always get stressed out when we're going somewhere. If I had just had somebody follow you around with a camera Friday, you would have seen what I'm talking about.
Friday was nuts.
You were completely unglued from the time I walked in the barn till the time I saw you Friday after the
I'd already
races.
been working for an hour.
100%.
When you walked into the
But
barn.
you were like spun.
Because I had a very strict schedule
Mm-hmm.
about what time I needed to be where, what I needed to do before I left. I had to leave instructions for everybody for what the horses needed.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be off the track.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go drop the dog off,
Mm-hmm.
go pick the kids up, get them lunch.
So, what, if you were telling the truth, when would be the first time of Friday where you just and just settled?
When I was driving.
When you're driving? Are you sure though?
Yeah.
Okay, when you were driving. You know, I got there
Because
Friday.
I gave myself a lot of time. I don't know if you know how to do that or not. But
I'm not the
we
best.
actually had an hour to spare, but then we hit that accident in Hamilton or whatever that was.
Oh, yeah, so there's traffic.
And then I had to go right to baseball, and he was there 5 minutes early.
Oh, really? Well, I know you like to say that I'm not the best with my time management. You can see that. It was on display Friday night. And in fact, Friday night was not... it was obviously my fault, but it was an honest-to-goodness mistake. I thought that I had to be there half an hour before. I didn't realize what took place 2 weeks before. I don't want to name names, but I guess there was a driver that was on site, sitting in their vehicle, which I do all the time, doing something, and never got a text or anything, walked in at like 29 minutes, because it was a little more, you got to understand, for horse people that are out there, the one thing I was surprised at, like the Meadows and Northfield, Scioto, as long as you're in contact with the judges, there's no real hard line, and they won't take you off the horse unless they absolutely have to. They might fine you, which is fine, that comes with the territory, but they won't take you off the horse. In Ontario, my whole life, it was 1 hour. At 55 minutes, maybe, unless you were really tight with the paddock judge, you were off your horse and fined. So you lost your revenue, you lost your drive, and you got fined. And it made it really difficult to get from track to track. You remember how many times it was hard to get from Woodbine to Georgian, or Georgian to Mohawk, or it was, yeah, it was insanity. And it's just such a total. It was funny, and I said this in the summer. Dave, I love Dave Anna. I don't even know. I haven't seen him there the last few times. Anyway, he got mad at Dexter. Dexter was strolling down the paddock with a nice coffee in his hand at like 27 minutes, and Dave's blowing a gasket. Dexter down paddock office right away. Dexter down paddock office, and I kind of burst out laughing a little bit in front of him, and he snapped on me. I said, Dave, you got to understand, it's not like that south of the border. Like I know there's places that have hard lines, I'm sure, but I've never driven at a place where you can't call the judges and they're like, all right, get here, and they may fine you or may not fine you if it's super late, but they don't want to take you off, because here's the thing, it's the wagering public, right? If you take me off my drive at 29 minutes before the race, who cares? All the exotic wagers are in already anyway. And it's not like you're going to, like, I was taken off my drive. They filled in with Jody Jamieson, who statistically is an infinitely better driver than me. What's the problem? Do you think other people are like, oh, well, that's such a huge upgrade also, I'm going to change all my tickets? No one, the whole point is to not change the driver. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter whether it's 10 minutes before, half an hour before, 2 hours before. You don't want to change the driver. Find the driver if you think he's negligent. If it was my fault, and I told them, I don't have my Nexus card, I was at the border a little bit longer, I miscalculated leaving the Meadows, all those things played a minor role, but the biggest role was I thought I had till half an hour before the race to sign in. I didn't realize that they had gone back to this hard line. The way it is now, and this is the way it was explained to me on the phone, it is 1 hour. If you call the judges before that 1 hour line, they will give you a 20-minute grace period. They can.
Oh, that's going back like 10 years.
They can give you a grace period. Now, they would have given me the grace period, and if I'm being completely honest, I rolled in there at 39 minutes. I stopped for gas and got a bag of chips at the gas station. I
Probably
didn't.
shouldn't have done
In hindsight, that could have been the deciding factor. But because I didn't call them at the hour, they didn't really go looking for me, right? When they called me, it was to let me know that I was already off my drive in the 8th
that. But it's
race.
not like they have that many phone calls to make, so why couldn't they call you?
Well, they're not.
It's not like
I understand their position. It's not their job, but it's always
But they
been
should want to protect
the betting public, and by doing that, they should never want to remove a driver. Now, the whole thing is this: who cares when I get there, as long as it doesn't bother the betting public? And I would argue that at 25 minutes or 10 minutes, it's the same amount of people being bothered.
I get that, but I guess they don't want everybody just rolling in.
Then start finding them. Start finding them. Don't take them off the drives.
They almost have to fine you what you would have made if you won. So
Why?
Don't do it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it has to be punitive. If you're really that worried about it, I would be an offender. If you just let people, like when I roll into the Meadows, you guys have seen my videos. Hey, I'm in the race in 14 minutes. I rolled in at 17 minutes before post time at the Meadows the other day.
Yeah, but I'm sure they don't appreciate you doing that all the time.
No, they don't. But they don't really care. As long as the breathalyzer people know you're coming, as long as the paddock judge knows you're coming, everybody's fine.
So at the end of the day, the reason they have that rule is because they don't want to make a last minute driver change. Is that why? Like they don't want you to roll in.
I don't know why they're giving it.
Roll over and then they're scrambling for someone.
But that's the thing. If I rolled in at 40 minutes and blew over, you're still scrambling for a driver. You just got more time to get it, I suppose. And I mean, at that point, now the driver is negligent. Now you've forced a driver change. Now you need to be fined, and there needs to be punitive damages. Right? They need to say, and if it happens and happens and happens, you got to say, if you're just late, if you're just tardy, fine. If you're trying to rush between tracks, you're going to have to say, okay, listen, I know you think you can make it from the 6th of Flamborough to the 1st of Georgian. Given the volatility of the traffic on the 407 and the 400, those are the series highways between Georgia and I'm just using Georgia and Flamborough. It's not in the best interest to do that. So if you continue to stay right till the 6th, we're going to have to step in and say no. And a lot of this comes also from back when I said this last night, when changes are due. Now, this had nothing to do with this instance, but I said this the other day. Like Wednesday, I booked off all my drives at the Meadows and Northfield to go to Miami Valley because Spitfire Overseas is being entered today. He's not even entered yet, and I've already booked myself off all my drives. Now, Northfield was last night they were due. Unnecessary. Monday is when the Meadows are due. So my request, and this would be more forceful if it really affected me that much, but there's a lot of drivers out there it really does affect, would be, I don't care when you draw, 10 o'clock in the morning, 48 hours before the race is when the hard line of changes are due everywhere. That way everybody gets a look. But with race offices, there's a lot of things in this industry that will never be uniform because there's nobody to advocate for it. This has been ongoing for probably decades, and it's never been dealt with. It's very simple. Just make it a rule. 48 hours before the race, for the race card, 10 a.m. of that 2 day before morning, all the changes are due. Done. And maybe there should be hard lines for the drivers. I don't like the hard line. I'd like to say inside of 30 minutes, if we haven't heard from you, we can take you off the horse. If we've heard from you and we've decided that you're late because you're late, we can fine you. But make no mistake, if we have to make a driver change, there is going to be repercussions. And it isn't we will make the driver change and fine you. It is if you're forcing us into that position, we can fine you. Now, if you have traffic or something, fine. Like, they didn't fine me the other night, thank God. Listen, I was coming from 5 hours away. It wasn't like I was leaving Guelph. I left the Meadows after race 9 to go drive at Mohawk. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. And somebody said, "Oh my God, I can't believe they took you off the horse." I didn't really care that they took me off the horse. Jody was fine. I did not think the filly was tough to drive. I would have driven her the exact same way that Jody did. And I assume there would have been a similar result, but maybe that's a little arrogant on my part, but I believe there would have been. But I'm happy. I'm happy that Jody got the win. I'm happy that the filly raced good. And above all, that's the important thing. I'm driving all over the place, just trying my best to make sure the horses are racing well. And she did race well. High point of the week. I put you on the spot
No,
again.
don't do that.
Yep, put you on the spot.
No.
You something comes into your head right away. What was the high point of your week? I know you can't use being with me. You can't use that again this week.
Wow. You don't have
People
to.
can't see you when you're way over there. Get over
No,
here.
I'm good. Good.
No, she's trying to hide from you. High point of the week. You're stalling.
I can't do
Pick
that.
one.
It's not fair. You get to go drive everybody. You know what everyone
No, I don't. Racing, training. I don't care. You just can't use me.
I need a minute.
No, I'll give you 7 seconds. 6, 5,
I didn't have
4,
No, I don't.
3, 2 Mississippi,
I can't even think of
1
one
Mississippi, 1 horse. Come on, quick, quick! You're into overtime.
I don't know.
You just give me a horse you trained or you raced or you thought looked good.
There's more than one.
Yeah, so I'm asking for the one. You're stalling.
Yeah,
It's
no,
getting ridiculous.
I can't think of
Now
it.
you loosen the top. You're gonna spill it all over the car again.
Look, you made me nervous.
Yeah, see. So come on.
I didn't have a great.
Who'd you train that train good?
Momentum Mori always trains good.
Well, so you could have used Momentum
Yeah,
Mori, but you
that's-
chose not to.
Well, because he's in 20.
Who cares? It's supposed to be in more than 20.
I did go Momentum.
Okay, good. So what horses? My God, you're bad at this game.
I can't even think of one that.
Looks like money. For me, I thought race tremendous. Arson race great. I could go on and on and on. Horses I trained that I thought trained fantastic. Blue Rare, absolute, positively killer. I told everybody there's 3 horses that stood above, but there's actually 4. I wonder if you can think of the 4th.
Stood above what? Babies?
Yeah, like the cream's starting to rise to the top. Now you're starting to see a ladder form,
Yeah,
right?
but
It's
You
clear.
know how many horses had peaked in March and then they were just.
Not that many. Not as many as you think. Not without caveats. The horses that have peaked in March, but
Oh, and by the way,
What?
I thought about this the other day.
What?
I'm gonna go back and find this video.
what video?
You made a video in like October, maybe it was November after we had Harrisburg, and you said, we are going to back everyone off in March, take it easy for a couple of weeks, maybe turn some out,
But
and then
March
we're
was
gonna
February.
start.
But March was February. March was February this year because of
Why?
the weather. Because of the
They
weather.
got 1 week.
No, they got 2 weeks where they just trained slow for 2 weeks. They were great. The weather's perfect now. Everything is good. I'm very, very happy with the way things have gone. So God Lover, my wife, she believes that we should just go easy
No,
all the
not
time.
all the time. Not all the time.
I am the NFL coach where I want to see everybody working hard. And the reason being, I know every workout, every training session, every time we jog them and go with them goes towards what that body of work will look like in stake season. There are other horses everywhere, in Florida, in Georgia, in the New Jersey, in Kentucky, that are training hard all the time. And the only way that we are going to beat those people is to have horses that are prepared and ready to go. They need to be at 100%. We have to work at, well, obviously it hasn't sunk in.
Yes.
We need to work hard to keep them at or above 100%, because they're going to get sore, they're going to get sick. I'm going to drive them bad once in a while. Other people are going to drive them bad. We're going to get bad posts. But on the days where the horses draw good, on the days when they're on their best, they're healthy, they had a good week coming in, those are the weeks that make the whole year. And they are not going to find those weeks by saying, oh, we'll just give them another day off.
I didn't say give them a day off.
When it's time to work, it's time to work. And that's as simple as that. You get out what you put in. And that is this industry in a nutshell, and virtually every sport in a nutshell. You ever see a top baseball player, football player, do you ever think that one of them says, you know what really turned my season around? Is every Saturday in April, I just chilled.
Is it the money sign or the ad sign?
I don't know. It's your dumb phone.
It's your Starbucks.
Well, I don't know. You should have
Okay,
it on
it's
there.
not the dollar sign.
It's probably the exclamation mark, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, a little banter for Sunday morning. Thoroughly pleased with what I saw from a lot of horses this week, both rookies and race horses. Disappointed that we lost Sonny last night, but quite frankly, as I said to Jason, he's never been in that easy since he was 2. He mauled a bunch of horses he was supposed to maul, and I think the only concerning part was he looked so good in that class after... What's that?
What do you want?
My
Iced
drink.
cafe
No,
latte.
I don't want the iced one. I want a hot...
It's warm out.
It's 6 degrees out.
No, it's not.
I'm not wearing a bathing suit.
Let me look. It's not 6 degrees.
It's right there. 45. That's 6 degrees.
It's fine.
There you go. I'll have a grande, extra hot.
Grande.
Yeah, no, they're better at grande. The ventis just get cold too quick. Grande, you guys can listen. Extra hot, vanilla latte. Oh, they do.
Grande.
You gotta have the grande. I learned this.
Of vanilla.
Yeah, you gotta have this because the ventis get too. I don't care. You can be driving an oven down the road. That drink is just not going to stay hot enough as a venti. I learned that. Look at that car.
What?
That's cool.
It's not like Ollie.
Let's get a different color. So you got to go with the grande and drink it quick. You got to get the extra hot. If you're like me, there's two different people in this world.
I can drink cold.
No,
so
I've noticed there's two different people in this world, and they are completely split down the middle. They are the people that have burnt their mouth multiple times in their life, and then there's that weirdo group that has never burnt their mouth ever in their life, ever that they can remember.
Burnt my mouth.
Yeah, but by accident, blame me.
Where are you going?
Oh yeah, you want to go to get the dog first? Sorry.
Yeah, but where are you going?
I was going to go over to Starbucks.
I'm not even done yet.
Oh,
because I can't find.
So we got to get the dog anyway. Dog, car wash, Starbucks.
Where's the ice?
That's right. I just did a complete circle. Yeah, the weirdos that have never burnt their mouth, and the people that have, and it's weird because I asked Jason the other day. He said he's never burned his mouth, Merriman, which was odd. And then I just turned to Jason McGinnis, by the way, Roots, fellow Maritimer by Roots. I said, "What about you?" He goes, "Like every week." Curtis burned his mouth 3 times last week.
It's because you're not learning from your mistakes.
No, it's
I don't want
because
to call you all stupid.
you have to eat it at the max. I mean if you can walk around with a thermometer and say, you know what, this pizza pocket, I just put the thermometer in there, that will burn my mouth. Then you would wait a minute. But it's just not worth risking.
I'm not having this conversation with you.
I'm just saying. Anyway, we got away from horses and somehow
really
got to pizza.
Video.
No, it's not. It's a Sunday video.
I still haven't thought of something.
Yeah, because here,
I'm ordering my.
If you don't give me,
you just erased it.
There you go. That's what you get for not having me. You never gave me your video, your horse. My top horse of the week.
I don't get to drive any of them in the race and win races. So
okay, so we won't use race horses then. Blue Rare.
I never even saw her train. I was in the barn.
Oh, that's true. That's fair. True. That's true. So there's 3 horses I thought were head and shoulders above everybody else just right now. And you're technically true about March. You can't really tell, but you can see the horses that do it right, do everything properly, and feel deep. Then you pull them up, and their pedigree matches what you're seeing. Those horses generally turn out. I want to say.
Okay, I want to hear who it is.
Who? What is? The 3 horses?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 3 that had Steady Volo,
yes.
Perfect Thought, and Blue Rare. Those horses,
This is where the dog is.
I don't buy them again to go to the car wash.
It's not even open.
Car wash open. What do you think that truck's doing? Sitting there surveying? Will you relax?
No, I can't find the peppermint sauce.
See what I have to deal with? So, those 3 horses, I think right now...
I can't believe you didn't put Bobby on there.
How can I possibly put Bobby on there? Bobby's talented, and she's a nice filly. But out there running away with you and acting up, how could I possibly put her on head and shoulders above? These are horses that the A+ is set against. These are the horses where when you measure the rest of the stable, that's your measuring stick, are those 3 horses. There is one more horse that's not that I never put on that list.
Why can't I put peppermint in this?
I don't really care.
Why is it saying sauces? I want syrup.
I'll do it. Go get your dog. Do you know who the 4th horse is? There is a 4th horse. Underappreciated. Never talk about the horse enough. I'll even give you the gender. It's a filly. I'm not giving you the gait. I'm giving you the gender. It's a filly.
Underappreciated.
People don't realize how good she is. And
Did you go with her?
I haven't gone with her in a long time.
Was it Aunt Sarah?
No. Nice filly, though. She's getting near the top of the list, but not perfect, but very close. She'd be like a 95%.
It's not Millie Girl.
No. Up on the list also. Up high.
Higher than her.
Yeah.
Wow.
This horse is higher than those horses and in the realm of the other 3.
Can you tell me what gait?
All right, I'll give it to you. It's a trotter. I'll order the drinks. Your phone sucks. Okay, come on. We're at 24 minutes. People are going to get bored here.
I think that ship has sailed.
Okay, what are you... Tomboy Strong. Tomboy Strong is a close fourth, and only because we've allowed her to be that way. If we really drop the hammer on Tomboy Strong and really push her hard, and we will at some point, you're going to see what I'm talking about. So that is a Sunday morning. A little bit of a rant. Amy spilling stuff all over the car, talking about burning your mouth. But you know what? It is a beautiful day here in Ohio. I hope you guys are having a great day, had a great weekend wherever you are. It has been a tremendous 2 weeks, and I can only hope that we have a rest of the year that looks like that. So with that, take care. Go eat your own coffee. Drink up. Take a deep breath. It's a beautiful day. Hopefully it's beautiful, as I said, wherever you are.